Hi everyone, this is a Precon Upgrade video on the Abzan Armor. We will talk about the two new commanders, the new cards from this Precon, the notable reprint, and finally the upgrades for both budget and expensive. Let's begin. The primary commander is Felothar, the Steadfast. She enables your defenders to attack, which is very important, and enables your creatures to assign combat damage using toughness, which is also very crucial. Moreover, she can draw you cards equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness and discard equal to its power. Most of the time, you'll be drawing a lot of cards and discard a few cards. Felothar is a powerful engine and she needs to be on the battlefield to allow your walls and defenders to attack. The secondary commander is Baitor, Ancestor's Voice. It can pump up one of your creatures based on the amount of life you gain and reanimate one creature based on the amount of life lost. I feel that Baitor is a very Abzan commander that plays around life gain and life loss mechanic. Very cool and very unique. Unfortunately, Felothar and Baitor do not work well with each other. Felothar wants defenders and Baitor wants life gain and life loss. Because of the content of this Precon, which is mostly consists of walls and defenders, Baitor will have to sit out for now and Felothar will take the main lead. Here are the 8 new cards from this Precon. Arbor, a Heron. It's a powerful mana door for toughness matter deck. Canopy, Gargantua is a powerful dragon that pumps up your team based on their toughness. Jaws of Defeat is an excellent payoff when you play high toughness creatures. Protector of the Ways can exile 2 artifacts and or enchantments controlled by 2 different players. It can do it again when it becomes monstrous. Rampant Architect can spam out defender tokens and whenever a defender dies you get a ramp. Reunion of the House is a mass reanimation spell. Tip the Scale is a toughness matter toxic deluge. Will of the Abzan is a powerful spell that edicts your opponent's most powerful creatures and reanimate one of your creature. Here are the notable reprints for this Precon. Sylvan Caryatid, Weathered Sentinel, Indomitable Ancient, Rogue's Fate Mender, Shalai, Voice of the Plenty, Tree of Redemption, Seedborn Muse, Shadrix, Silverquill, Dragonlord Dramoka, Towering Titan, Kofanor's Urn, Staff of Completion. Overall, the reprint value for this Precon is not bad. Better than the Jeskai one. I really like Weathered Sentinel here because this is very important card for this deck. Before I proceed, let's talk about the upgrade goal for this Precon. Felothar wants you to assemble or create tons of defenders and walls. Then attack your opponents using toughness as combat damage. Fortunately, this deck is pretty focused on that strategy. We just need to change a few cards with the better ones. I'm taking out Baitor, Ancestral Voice, because it is suited in other decks, not this one. Arboreal Grazer, Hornet's Nest, Indulging Patrician are not good enough. There are better options. Protector of the Ways and Rogue's Fate Mender are not defenders or walls, which is why they are out of here. Staff of Completion is very awkward here, which is why I'm removing this card too. I don't like Wall of Reverence because it targets power rather than toughness, and Wall of Roots because it's limited to once each turn, which is why these 2 cards are out of here. Finally, Zetalpa may have a huge toughness, but there are better options. This card is good in the Catril deck. Here are the budget upgrade for this deck. Flub, Fecund Green Shell, Abzan Beastmaster, Shield Wall Sentinel, Mangara the Diplomat are all card advantage engine for this deck. Bedrock Tortoise, Doran the Siege Tower, it's another commander for your deck. Doran, by the way, can mess up your opponent's creatures too. Kofanor the Last You is a reanimation engine for this deck. Now if you have more money, I suggest of getting these two cards. It is a little pricey, but I think it's worth it for this deck because it is very important for your walls to be able to block defensively and attack aggressively. And they are Spider Silk Armor and Brave the Sands. These two cards can give your team reach and vigilance, which is very important for this deck. Now let's talk about the expensive upgrade for this deck. Oran Frostfang, Large March of the Ants, Phyrexian Arena, a powerful card draw engine. Baitor, Keen to All from the main set is very important here because it can draw you cards and untap your creatures, and if you have 30 or more toughness, you drain the table by half life. That is insane. A meal and teleportation circle can blink one of your walls to get more value. Ovia can give your team trample and cheat out one creature. Trio Perdition can steal your opponent's life, and then with Felothar's ability, you can draw a lot of cards. Wall of Soul can deter your opponents from attacking you. Wall of Tendricore can get reach and block flying creatures. Damn and Dusk and Dawn are great board wipes and reanimation spell for this deck. Catapult Fodder, McCready Lamplight Mayor, Steward Shield Bearers are powerful payoff. Netroid, Apex of Devastator, and Six are great reanimation creatures. Assassin's Trophy, Terror Sunder are good spot removal spell. Crystal Barricade can provide protection, and then I also added these few cards because of flavor reasons. I'm bringing the Monarch and Initiative mechanic into this deck. Several Tome, Court of Ambition, White Plume Adventurers are good here, and the reason why I want Initiative in this deck is because of Shar and Brazier, because this card is a game ender. If you have the Initiative, he can double your toughness across the team. It spells game over for your opponents. Here are the 3 game changer cards for this deck to fulfill that bracket 3 requirement. We have Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor to allow us to find any card in our deck and add it to our hand. Smothering Tide is here to get you more mana. You can check out both decks under the video description. Be sure to check out the card tagging button to see which category they belong to. Here are some considering cards for this Precon. I added this section here because I want you to have the flexibility of upgrading this deck. So here goes. Wall of Net, Wall of Shards are good deterrent for your opponents attacking you. Beast Whisperer is another card draw engine. Bloodletter of Aclazor is disgusting here because it can double your damage output. With Baitor, it would be game over for your opponents. Ramass, 8-core, Ancient Shield is here for that exalted ability. Casting 2 spells on each turn might be challenging for this deck. One thing to note about defenders, they can't attack unless you have Felothar or Assault Formation or any other enablers, which means this deck is really heavily reliant on your commander to do stuff. Another way to build this deck is to focus on high toughness creatures. And you know which tribe has high toughness? The Tree Folk. Felothar can be a secret Tree Folk deck, and thanks to Law of the Ring, we have some powerful Tree Folks. Tree Folk Harbinger can tutor any Tree Folk and put it on top of your library so you can get it next turn. Fangor Tree Shepherd can make your Tree Folk team vigilant and get you more mana. Boss Banneret can reduce your Tree Folk spell by 1. Ancient Lumbernor, it's another commander for this deck. Dungeon Grove Elder has hexproof and it gets bigger and bigger depends on the number of forests, which is why I'm also adding Yavimaya Cradle of Growth here to get you more forest count. Timber Protector can give your team indestructible. Leaf Crown Elder can allow you to cast Tree Folk spells for free from the top of your library. Treebeard Gracious Host can pump up your team whenever you gain life. How do you gain life? Well, Orchard Warden is here to help you. Ovenwall Observer can draw you cards whenever a big butt creatures die. Black Poplar's Armor can regenerate your Trifle. Namata Primal Warden is a graveyard hate and it can spawn out saplings to draw you more cards. Great Oak Guardian can be a good blocker and it can untap your team so that they can block too. Woodfall Primus can destroy any non-creature permanent including lands, and it also has Persist. Lastly, when I think about Abzan, it is a very grindy, resilient and stacks color combination. So why not and play these 3 cards? I'm suggesting Blind Obedience, Authority of the Console to slow down your opponent's creature, and finally, completely locked out any big creature deck with Mixstone. This artifact is very strong here because it can shut down any big creature decks like dragons, dinosaurs, and leaving your walls and defenders unscathed. With that being said, that is all for today's video. What do you think about the Abzan Armor Precon? I think this is the most unique Precon among the rest. While it is heavily reliant on your commanders to do stuff, it is an unusual twist to a typical Abzan playstyle. Hopefully, we can get more interesting walls or defenders in the future. Do you like this Precon? Please let me know down in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. It really helps out this channel. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and have a great day ahead. I'll be back for the last Tarkir Precon upgrade and probably the most highly anticipated one, the Thema Roar. Bye bye.